What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Nikki St. Clair. I'm back out on these YouTube streets. And you know what? I just had a really interesting experience. I usually go and get my nails done at a shop. But on this particular day, my nail tech asked that I come to the house. I guess she had other things to do to where she didn't want to sit in the shop all day. And she made an exception for me to come to her house. And as I began to pull up to the house, beautiful. The yard, it looks like it needed some work, but the house was beautiful, and I walked in, and it was decorated so beautifully. She had diamonds everywhere. Everything was blinged out, tricked out. But she had her nail tech table set up, and as I began to sit down, there was a brown roach. I mean, just crawling across the table. And there was a towel on her table, and I just kind of flung it across the room and sat down. And she proceeded to do my nails like it really wasn't no problem, no concern. And as she went into her drawer at her station, at the station of her nail tech table, another roach crawled out. And she was just so unbothered by the roach crawling out. It was like business as usual. And even as I sat down into her house, I could smell that there was a pet because I can smell pet feces. And I want you to know that a lot of times, well, before I say a lot of times, I sat there and I proceeded to go ahead and get my nails done. I'm like, I'm already here. I'm like closing up all my bags, looking around. And I'm just like, let's hurry up and get this over with because the smell is getting to me. Like, there's definitely some dog mess somewhere in the house. And so I'm just like, oh my God, let me get through this. I hope no other roaches come out. Like, I'm starting to feel tingles on my legs. I'm rubbing my legs and shit. I'm just looking around, making sure, there's nothing else crawling. And I sat there and I got my nails done. And as I got my nails done, the longer and longer I stayed, the more susceptible I became to the smell of the dog feces, y'all. It was more faint. It was less pungent. And you guys, I want you to know that there are people that have, just like she just acted like it was business as usual, that it didn't even bother her or faze her that she had roaches. It didn't even bother her or faze her that the smell and the presence of dog feces were in her house, and it was business as usual. I want to let you guys know that there are a lot of people out here that's living like this, spiritually. They are used to having spiritual roaches, and the scent of crap in their lives, and they have gotten used to it, and it's business as usual. And there's a lot of people out here that want what they want: company. They want to date somebody. They want to be up under somebody. They want to occupy people's time, and they are just spiritually not presentable. Now, I've never really grown up with roaches, but I've always known that roaches represent filth, uncleanliness. And to be able to just sit in a house with roaches and be unfazed. You don't fling it, you don't try to kill it, you don't go get the spray. It was disturbing to me. But to her, it was just business as usual. And I want to let you guys know that there's a lot of people that's living like this. Like, spiritually, it's business as usual. Like, never mind the jealousy. Never mind the bitterness. Never mind being unkind and being inconsiderate. Never mind being uh, unforgiving. Never mind that. Never mind the unclean things in my life that are present. It's just business as usual. And I want you to know that there's a lot of people that they accept this, and they want you to sit in it with them. you know, and it, for me, I mean, like, oh my God, like the thought of that. If there's a presence of some sort of a roach or a mouse or something like that, I'm going to immediately look. Hey, what helps this? I'm going to Home Depot. Oh, boric acid. I'm looking. Bombs. What? How can I get rid of this? Because I refuse to live like this. And if I had to go through a period of living like this, while yet I'm trying to get rid of these things, I don't want to invite nobody over. I don't want to entertain anybody while I'm going through my season of having spiritual roaches, spiritual rodents. No, 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 no. I would want to clean that up. I don't think it is fair for me to invite anybody into my season of going through my mess, of going through my cleanup. And I want to let you guys know that you guys have every right to say, you know what, I don't live like this. This ain't how I get down. And I'm going to protect everything I got because I don't want what you have jumping on me, jumping in my bag. I don't want to carry these spiritual rodents or spiritual roaches with me. I don't want to sit in your company and act like ain't nothing wrong. And then when I get up, I got to I run the risk of carrying that to my own house. You guys ought to uh, be spiritually vigilant. I mean, just like watch and pray, y'all. Because the first signs that you see, and I think what really bothered me was not that she had roaches. It wasn't the fact that the smell of dog shit was in the house. It was the fact that she was unbothered by it. That this was business as usual, that it was another day. You know, I was talking to my friend, and she's going through not really a breakup, but a separation she's going through. And we were just discussing seasons in your life. And you have what I like to call seasonal Christians, whereas they didn't have it together a year ago. They didn't have it together 6 months ago, but they had just recently made the covenant of living right and doing right. They haven't been living this way for a long time. And she and I came to a conclusion that when she met her husband, he was going through a seasonal phase with God. He had just gotten his life together, y'all. He hadn't been doing this for a while. Don't you know if somebody was a pilot and became certified, but they ain't been flying that long, I don't want to get on a plane with you. I don't want to get in a helicopter with you. I don't trust you to fly this plane or this helicopter with my life. I want someone that's seasoned. I want somebody that's been in the game for a long time. And unfortunately, he went through his season of being married. He went through his season of doing right by her, but he began to text old friends, ex-girlfriends, talk to them to and from work. and it bothered her. Yeah, he has the covenant with me. Yes, he took the vows with me. But when he leaves out of my presence, when he's going to the store, when he's making his drives to work, he made he forgot to turn off and disconnect his text messages to his tablet. So she's sitting there reading everything that they're discussing. She's sitting there seeing that every day at this time he's checking in with these people from his past. And it allowed her to see that at one point he was ready to let it all go. But at some point in the marriage, he began to pick things up again. And he began to hang out with old friends that he used to hang out with. And he began to bring up memories with these friends and these ex girlfriends. And they began to talk to each other. And here she is reading it all. He had been exposed. And I want to let you know that a lot of times you have to worry, you have to make sure that this person is in this thing, that they are all the way in this thing with Christ, that they are all the way in this marriage, that they are all the way within this relationship. They are doing this thing. This is what they are. This is not just what they are, but this is really who they are. And he refused, y'all, to let his past go, which caused them to come to a great separation. Now, my friend could have easily said, hey, this is the way it is. He's not married to them. He's married to me. I'm the prize. I'm the number one. She could have easily been okay with him having spiritual roaches in his life. She could have easily sat with him in his stench and in his ways. But because she knows who she is and whose she is and who she belongs to, as much as she wanted to get married, as much money as they spent on this wedding, and as many people that witnessed them take their vows in front of each other, she had to choose God first. She said, oh no. And I know for a fact that if the shoe was on the other foot, it would be a problem for him. But she had to say, you know what? I'm hurt. I'm angry. I'm embarrassed. My family knows. His friends know. His friends are coming to her saying, man, you're a good woman. I don't know why he chose to do that. I don't know. You know. But at the end of the day, she had to choose God first. And she realized, hey, we're unevenly yoked. And he was just going through a season where he wanted to do right. And his heart was in the right place. But he wasn't ready to let the past go. I'm talking about people with spiritual roaches and spiritual rodents. I'm talking about people that don't want to let their issues go. Well, you know what? I'm going to get off cocaine, but I'm going to pop a pill every now and then. You know what? I don't steal no more, but I'm going to lie. I have I have a relationship, not a relationship, but I have a family member. They don't blatantly lie to your face, but they will tell the story to make you believe and make you conclude what they want you to conclude. So at the end of the day, when you're like, well, I thought you said this. I never said this. I just said this. That will lead you into believing and drawing a conclusion and assuming so they can always walk away and say, I didn't lie. But it made a manipulation for me. And it's all deception. And it's all dishonesty. And it is all of the devil, y'all. It is not of God. You guys have every right, just like I have every right, to tell my nail tech, you know what, from now on, I really appreciate you inviting me into your house to do my nails and accept me. I appreciate it that you made the exception to even have me over here and do my nails in your house. I was uncomfortable, y'all. That lady had roaches and they were coming out. The lady had pet feces somewhere in that house where it was a very pungent, strong smell. And I have every right to say, you know what? If you're not in the shop today, I'm going to respectfully decline and I'm going to wait until you're back in the shop. Because when you're in the shop, they have to pass state board. They're not okay with having these things go on in the shop. But when she's at home, she could do whatever she wants to do. And with me coming over and her giving me the address and sitting there with the smell and roaches calling, y'all, I was too done. But I had made up in my mind that even as bad as I wanted my nails done, today I did sit through it. I could have said, you know what? I'm not. I'll just wait till you go into the shop and you enjoy your day off. I could have done that, but I went ahead and I sat through it because I didn't want to offend anybody. But spiritually, if someone has spiritual roaches in their house, spiritual rodents in their house, spiritual dog feces or fleas or anything of some sort in their house, from the gate, once you sense it, I'm going to encourage you not to even sit through it. I'm encouraging everybody and I'm challenging everybody, shut it down immediately. Hey, you know what? Something's come up. We could do this at another time. Hey, you know what? You know what? I don't think I'm just not okay with this. And move it forward and move it along, y'all. Because a lot of times, by me by me sitting there and getting my nails done there anyway, y'all could have walked away with roach eggs. I could have walked away with a roach in my purse. And I sat through that smell, y'all. It's a dog in there somewhere. And even though the dog never came out, the presence of dog feces in that house. And I sat through it because I didn't want to hurt her feelings. I didn't want to come across prideful. I wanted to say, I wanted to assume that she needed the money. So I paid her the money off. But I want to let you guys know and encourage you guys to know and move accordingly. When there is a sign of something that's not right, that does not align with God, does not align with your walk, I encourage everybody, spiritually, get yourself up, dust the dust off your feet, and keep it pushing. And do not look back. You have every right. You don't have to sit through and be in concert with the person and their filth and their roaches and their rats and their fleas, whatever it is. You don't have to sit there through that. Anyways, I'm Nikki St. Clair. You could have been anywhere you wanted to be, but you chose to be here. I want you to like, comment, and subscribe, and I encourage you guys to look through some of my other videos. And I know at times I talk a bit slow, but there is a settings button or you can speed me up or slow me down, however you want to do it. But there is something, I have something to say. There are some messages out there for you guys. And I'm a firm believer that in this walk with Christ, I'm not perfect. But I want to let those who are doing this walk with Christ, I want to let you know that you're not alone. And sometimes we have to encourage each other. We have to pray for each other. And through my testimony and trial and error, I'm sure it could strengthen someone else's walk. Okay? So, anyways, thank you so much for choosing to stop by. You could have been anywhere, but you chose to be here, and I'm ever so grateful. Like, comment, and subscribe. And I will talk to you later. Thank you so much, and take care. Bye bye.